10 years ago, we built 3 tiny houses on this beautiful property, and we chose not to pull permits, and we would ask for forgiveness later. And we've now gotten involved with the county because we're building new dwellings out here, and it's been quite a journey. This is a video about the site restoration after moving tiny houses off, and what I've learned in the process, and what I wish I had known sooner. We have moved off 2 tiny houses, and actually 3 if you count my daughter's tiny house on wheels. So we've gone from 4 tiny houses to 1, and we're hoping to leave that 1 and classify it as a shed. And we're in the process of doing fully permitted 2 dwellings. One is going to be a 1,200 square foot house, and one is going to be a 500 square foot tiny house. So we've gone from having been off the radar for 10 years living in tiny houses on my 3 acres in North Carolina to now interfacing with the county, and that's caused us to move a couple of tiny houses off because we didn't permit them when we built them. So what we've been working on this past week since my mom's tiny house went away is site cleanup and restoration. We're cleaning up the debris, pulling out the posts. My mom's house was built on 6x6 posts, pulling up PVC drain pipe, pulling up wire, just getting the site clear so that we can have an inspector from the county come out and we can work with him on a restoration plan to restore the site to where it was before the tiny house was there, or both sites where the tiny houses were. So that's our next step. And one of the big things we did this past weekend is my brother and I dismantled a greenhouse that we had built all out of reclaimed materials. And we built it for my mom as I think it was a birthday or a Mother's Day present, probably 6-7 years ago. And it includes 21 reclaimed window sashes. And then we built it on a little deck and did some reclaimed wood beadboard as wainscoting and some of the exterior siding, reclaimed wood door, all that stuff. And we never thought we would be moving this thing, but now the county wants everything moved from 80 feet from the creek, and that's 50 feet from the creek. And so now we have like a 7-piece greenhouse kit that we'll have to reassemble after my mom's new tiny house is built, and we know where it's going to go. Seven pieces plus 21 windows, so 28-piece kit. Anyway, we did that this week because we were required to move all structures that were within 80 feet of the creek that runs through my property by the county, because they have a 50-foot buffer restriction and 80 feet if you are on a slope. That increases the distance you need to be away. So the lesson we learned is when we built our tiny houses and we were under the radar, and we knew we were under the radar and we knew we might be subject to inspection later on, we always assumed we would do everything well so that when we came in contact with the county, we would be able to have a positive and productive discussion and bring stuff up to code. And that's what we had assumed we would do. But we did not research deeply enough the buffer restriction, and the state is 50 feet, but the county had implemented a more restrictive regulation that was not easy to find. I found it after the county guys told me about it, but it's not like front and center. So anyway, that bit us in the butt. So if you're doing something under the radar with a thought that maybe you might permit things later on and legitimize them, I would just research everything you can, maybe even hire an attorney who's familiar with law and code and stuff, just to cover your bases, because that really bit us in the butt. We ended up having to move my mom's tiny house rather than retroactively permit and displace an 85-year-old woman, and then also move this greenhouse, and we moved a shed, and in my tiny house, which I was planning on moving anyway. So that's the lesson we learned from that. I read a lot more stories and lessons from 8 years living in a tiny house in the woods here on this channel, and also on my blog, markcool.org. Until next time, I'll leave you with this quote: 3 things money can't buy: a fit body, a calm mind, and a house full of love.